And I've seen people do this, and they do a big clap to sync everything.
Okay,
so I'm
on
gonna.
3, 1, 2.
I don't think we all need to do it, but
We're good to go now.
That's it.
That's our intro clip.
Yeah. Just idiots. All right, that's our podcast, guys. All right, that's our podcast, guys. Thank you for tuning in. All right. This is the Stronger Through Humour podcast. This is our first episode, so bear with us. For those who don't know, I'm Joe.
I'm Cody.
I'm Tommy.
I did this.
Jesus.
Hey guys, for those who don't know, I'm Joe.
I'm Cody.
I'm Tommy.
As some of you suspected, we are starting our own podcast. This is going to be episode 1 here.
And our podcast is called Stronger Through Humour. And let's talk a little bit about why we chose that name.
I think like we were kind of talking about before, we're going to have a lot of knowledge on here, but it'll be a little bit different how we get there, and a lot of laughs along the way.
Yeah, expect a lot of good strength topics, but it's just a lot of laughs as well. We're a pretty funny group of guys, so we're going to be laughing a lot during this.
Yeah, when coming up with this podcast, and we knew we wanted to do a podcast. Naming wise, we didn't really know where to go with it. 2 words that stuck out to us: strength and humor, and we kind of just went with that. We went simple a little bit, stronger through humor. I think we really believe in that too. We're all working out here, having fun, getting stronger, but at the same time, it's a lot of laughs.
Yeah, and like we were talking about before, a lot of these topics can be pretty boring if you're just a regular gym goer, so spicing up with a little bit of laughs makes it a little bit easier to retain these big concepts.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, this podcast is going to be happening based out of Movement, Fitness, and Performance. I opened Movement about 3 years ago. These guys joined the team afterwards. Let's give a little bit of a quick background for all of us. So I'm a clinical exercise physiologist, CSEP CEP. Joe, want to talk about you?
I'm. When did I join? Probably 2 years-ish. I know I joined a little
Yeah,
prior to
2.5
that,
probably.
but I was off for a lot of it. My background, I'm a software developer. Here, though, I'm dabbling a little more into the marketing side of things, the tech side of things, web development certain times. So if these guys need any help in that regard, I'm here to lend a hand.
All right. I'm the head coach for Magma Strength Systems. So I'm a NSCA certified strength and conditioning specialist, as well. I'm in the latter parts of my athletic therapy degree at the University of Winnipeg. All right.
And you've been here probably what now?
Yeah, I've been here about
a year.
Around a year-ish, dabbling on that kind of spectrum there. So yeah.
Year goes by
A
quick.
lot of change within that year, within the space in itself that we'll talk about.
Yeah. So
And
I
is
guess
that going to be the clip?
no, we're just going. We're going. People are going to be listening to this. We're going. I guess we could expand upon Movement FP, the gym itself, the brand.
Yeah, I thought that's the next thing we were going to do, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so
that's
Cody's
why
going
I
to
mentioned
describe what Movement is right now.
Yeah, so the plan with Movement right from the start was to create top-level strength and conditioning facility. In Winnipeg, you obviously have a ton of your standard commercial gyms loaded with machines, cardio, everything like that. We wanted something a little different here. In Movement, it's definitely not based on machines. The machines we do have are multi-use, just your standard cable machines, but we have a ton of free weights. We got, of course, lots of platforms, racks, benches. So we cater a lot to powerlifting, Olympic lifting, just overall strength training, barbell work. We have a massive conditioning area, like a really large turf, kettlebells, sleds, our TRXs, wide variety of cardio, just top level cardio in terms of assault bikes, rowers, ski ergs, manual treadmill. So we really try to gear towards equipment that you're not going to have access to at a commercial gym. But with that being said, it's also geared towards people training for specific goals. If you're going to want to train just to stay healthy, just random workouts, probably not the space for you. You're going to want to go to a commercial gym. But if you're an athlete training for a specific sport, we're going to have the space, the layout, and equipment that's going to help you succeed in what you're training for. And not even just that, just clients. We have a great group of trainers here that are very knowledgeable, and they're going to help you with whatever your goals are, be successful. We may not have every piece of equipment, but we will be able to find a way to do what you need to do in your workouts.
Yeah, that's a good thing to bring up. Like you said, we don't have every single piece of equipment, but a lot of the equipment, like you mentioned, are multi-use. So if you want to do a certain movement, we can kind of get one of our equipment that we have here and use that towards it. For example, like that hip thrust bench or whatever. We don't have that specifically.
On the reverse hyper, stuff like that. Yeah, this is a gym that, like, when I describe it to potential clients, say when you walk into a commercial gym, a lot of the machines you can just picture how you're going to do it, and the machine can do a lot of that work for you. But it's a gym where you're going to have to put a lot of the effort into every single workout. So a lot easier to achieve results, but just requires a lot more work.
Yeah, I guess just to add on what they kind of just said there too, to give a bit of a deeper insight on specific items and how you can change up the equipment. We have a reverse hyper GHD combo, so you can do your reverse hypers, GHD curls, sit-ups, hamstring curls, all on one piece of equipment. Multiple racks here are cages or rigs, so you can bench, squat, do pull-ups, dips. So like tons of different movements all in one station. It just makes for a lot of variety. Our TRXs, that gives you tons of variety there too, that you wouldn't be able to do with your standard barbells or dumbbells, kettlebells, things like that.
Or people with that don't have the abilities to do it with that, right?
Definitely.
That's good.
Yeah, and to expand upon what Cody was saying more, we have a lot of equipment catered for like powerlifting, weightlifting, Olympic lifting and stuff like that. You get a lot of guys coming in and they're really strong athletes. With that said, though, don't be intimidated. The gym is easy access for anyone to come in, even if you're a novice learning how to lift and stuff like that. Me personally, I'm not that knowledgeable at like a top level athlete, but I still come here. There's a lot of people with knowledge. I'm learning from everyone that I talk to here, and it's just a chill environment, so to say. Everyone's working hard, but it's easy to come in and not feel too intimidated.
Yeah, I think that the atmosphere is a key thing, like he said. It's just the groups here, even between trainers, our trainers have very different clientele, but even when they come in each day, they're supporting everyone that's in the gym. They're excited when people achieve goals or PRs that they're trying to hit. There's no group here per se where it's like an outcast group. It doesn't matter what type of training you're doing, as long as you're respectful in the space, everyone's going to support you here. So it's really good. Definitely a place you want to work out.
Yeah.
Get that support system.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hard place to find too. Like to find like a powerlifter gym that supports just like a 60-year-old runner that supports
Yeah.
a person that just does yoga and everything. It's a hard place to find. So
Yeah, there's a lot of places that kind of stick to one lane, so to say, or stick to one mentality. Powerlifting is what we do. It's the best form of training or whatever. People might say, but over here everything's accepted as long as you're not being an idiot. Yeah,
and I think movement really emphasizes the strength club aspect, where strength is a very flexible term. It's not like when people think about strength, it's always 1 rep max squat, 1 rep max bench, deadlift, and everything. But there's so much more like functionality wise to that.
Oh yeah.
And that's where it is. Like obviously we have a decent amount of powerlifters here that train just for that 1 rep, but there's a lot of, like I said before, like 60-year-old people that's not going to benefit, but still getting stronger is a huge emphasis on their training.
And recently too, another style of training that we've been noticing here a lot more too is athletes just doing more CrossFit style workouts. whether it be just they just don't want to sign up fully at a CrossFit gym, or they're just doing those type of workouts. Our space still allows for those type of workouts too, so that's really great. And I've definitely noticed in the last few months we're getting more of those style workouts.
Yeah.
in here.
Yeah.
You have Joe here too.
Oh, yeah.
That's what he does.
My 5-minute runs on a treadmill, and then I get tired and quit.
As we all look at
Yeah. What's the next talking point here?
Yeah, but do we want to go trainer by trainer? But I mean, we
I don't
talked a
know.
little bit about just the functionality aspects. I'll talk. Maybe there's trainers that do one-on-one and then groups. So
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah,
we can
there's
summarize it like that.
Definitely a variety within that too.
Like,
Right?
imagine if the people that are tuning in right now, they're already going to know about like Weapon Factory
That's
and
true.
that or Raku Rugby, those big groups, or the Ukrainian dance.
Ukrainian dance group.
Yeah.
Those bigger groups that come in here, and especially the biggest change that we made groups like that able to train here and not almost completely shut down the gym or make it a little bit tougher for members to work out. So now with us having that new layout, it's a lot better, and gym can run pretty much normally with big groups like that, up to 20 to 30 people in it. But then there's trainers that do one-on-one work or semi-private training too that is really flexible with their clienteles as well.
Even just mentioning those different groups that are training here, those groups are like totally different too, right?
Yeah.
And they're still finding the space great to work out in or
Mm-hmm.
train or whatever happens to be their goal.
Yeah, and that's what like the key of like having like say Raku Rugby in the small space or smaller space for a gym, and like rugby is a very dynamic sport that has a lot of demands, and if a big rugby group can see the benefits of a gym like this, then anyone can.
Mm-hmm.
And just to put it into perspective, like the size of our space here is just under 4,000 square feet, about 3,860 square feet. So we really have to be strategic and smart in how we lay everything out. So when we do get large groups or a ton of different trainers with clients at the same time, there isn't a lot of waiting around and trying to change your workout on the spot. We want everyone to be able to do what they need to do in the space provided. So one of the jokes ever since we opened is that we always change the layout here. But it's true, we've made a lot of layout changes, but we're always changing it with the purpose of making it flow better for everyone here. It doesn't matter what group. We don't want it to be great for one group and then the next day a different group's here and it doesn't work for them at all. So it's just finding that balance, making use of literally every inch of the space.
Trying to be
so it just flows.
trying to be a little more efficient, or we're not changing the layout just to change the layout and keeping things spicy. We're in this gym like most of the day, and we'll notice certain things like, hey, there's a little stall in this area, or people are finding it tough to get to the weights from here to there. So
yeah, like that's the thing. You might think a layout or a certain section is going to work great, and then it might not.
Yeah.
So you admit that you made that mistake or it wasn't going to work, and we just fix it up and make it work so it's just better for everyone.
yeah, and it might not even just be like a mistake. It's just you wouldn't know, right?
Yeah.
Until it's applied.
No, it was a mistake.
Yeah,
Straight up mistake.
Idiot, yeah. Oh, why would I do that? Yeah. Put the bike on top of the platform. Like, what? That didn't work
made a
out.
mistake.
Yeah,
You made a mistake.
yeah. We're always learning from the mistakes. Bikes don't go on platforms. Yeah,
That's a good idea,
We
though.
got to remember that
It
one.
was creative.
Making use of space.
Yeah.
Making use of space. But do you want to talk about like some podcast expectations for like future layouts
Oh yeah. Future layouts.
of the podcast?
Oh, like gym layouts.
Future gym layouts.
Yeah. So we're not changing the layout.
We don't plan on changing
We're not
the
changing
layout
we're-
anytime
yeah,
soon.
As I say, we're not
we
changing
really
the
like
layout.
it.
Yeah, as we show up tomorrow, it's gonna be completely changed.
Yeah, we're not changing layout just for sake of changing layout. So, anyways, we're changing the layout. Anyways, we're changing the layout. I made a mistake.
As we sit here, we noticed some big mistakes in this.
Yeah, jeez. Yeah.
I made a mistake.
Yeah, the toilets aren't in the bathroom. So what?
That's an unused space.
Yeah.
We need to use that space.
Yeah,
Put a rack in there.
platforms in the showers. All about efficiency here.
Squat racks and therapy room, you know.
Yeah, podcast layout.
expectations.
Yeah. If for people who, our audience, I guess, just people who are into fitness too. It can be any sort of level of fitness, but also just a little humor here and there. I think we touched upon that in the beginning. We're just kind of take a casual approach to certain topics within fitness. Obviously, you two in the industry, you'll know a little more.
No, we'll lean on you for a while.
Yeah,
you guys actually know what you're talking about in certain aspects.
But still, like that being said, if we're trying to do like a strength through humor and make these big concepts kind of a little bit more easier pill to swallow.
Yeah.
If I say something, like we have a running joke with that, like I've described something with like a dishwasher and it just didn't work at all. And then, so if I say like this crazy metaphor.
And he keeps doing it.
Yeah, I just look at Joe and he's like, so stupid. Then I'm like, okay, yeah, like that doesn't work. So, yeah.
You're doing great, bud.
So if there's like bigger concepts that we're trying to break down, we're gonna,
that could be one of the talking points. The topic.
Making that pizza.
Talking points on the podcast. I'm sure.
Doesn't make sense.
I'm sure down the line we're gonna have guests that are knowledgeable in certain areas too that will chime in on certain topics, or maybe some that they want to talk about. Yeah, there's gonna be.
Yeah, I think our plan is we're going to talk a lot about our own training too, just to feed off
a little
of that.
update. Yeah,
just a little, like just like to, not even just us specifically. I just mean in the gym, like other trainers, things that are going on. Yeah, but then I think down the road we kind of want to bring in other people too.
Yeah,
just
bring
get
in
a
other
different
people,
point
maybe
of view, right, from outside of movement as well. So
maybe chat about big news stories or something in the fitness industry too. Just our opinions, our thoughts, and stuff like that. Probably not right, but they're probably going to be wrong. But we'll talk about it anyways. Yeah.
That's it.
So dumb. What else do we want to mention here? It's
the YouTube channel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Don't subscribe to our YouTube. Main platforms. Yeah, the main platform of this podcast will be on YouTube. It's going to be on the Movement FP YouTube channel. We'll post the audio, or we'll post a video. Obviously, it's going to have audio in it. We're expecting to, we're going to make this podcast audio as well available, like whatever people listen to podcasts to, Spotify and stuff like that.
Yeah, and lengthwise, we were kind of dabbling around that.
Lengthwise, depending on, I guess, a certain day and topic and stuff like that, we're looking for
go with the flow.
45-minute-ish, hour. Might be certain special podcast episodes that'll be shorter, longer. It all really depends. That's gonna keep going. I want out.
Send out. All right, see you later.
So what's it?
I hate it.
Oh, it's great. What would Cody say?
Oh, I don't have an episode.
Oh.
I don't have a sketch. You gotta prepare me.
So one of our we're thinking about the podcast too. We'll have
That
certain
wasn't cut. That wasn't. We're not starting a new episode.
No, we're going, man. The camera's rolling. We're doing
This
it.
is just a good.
It's live.
IG live.
They're watching right now.
Oh, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh no, we're thinking of doing different little segments and stuff like that. We're having fun, coming up, brainstorming with little things. One of it is me and Tommy called What Would Cody Say, and we would just bring up like the stupidest like.
Well, we gotta be kind of strategic.
Yeah.
Cody's a funny guy where he won't. Sometimes he'll shadow what he's saying in the nicest way possible.
Yeah.
Or what he's trying to say. So then we're gonna try and catch him off guard a few times.
Yeah, we're thinking of saying something like either totally stupid or something extreme but still believable, and we'll just see what Cody says there. It'll be a little. Me and Tommy will talk about it prior. It'll be a little inside joke, but we'll just say it and see Cody's reaction.
Yeah.
And
It's gonna be the highlight of the podcast.
Yeah. Every single episode.
he just claps and leaves.
That's the point.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Another thing we're thinking of is just getting the audience more involved too, where we'll be accepting certain questions. We might bring up a poll topic or something like that and have the audience vote whether you like A or B, and we can discuss and expand upon that, share our opinions, and that'll be fun. Give us a little more to chat about
Or
too.
even just suggestions on people that want to be on this one
Yeah.
too. Like if you have some topics you want to discuss with us, we're
yeah.
open to that too. And
anything to get like the community involved. I think it's a good angle. So what's your favorite PEDs? Just kidding.
Singlets.
Oh, big
Did
top.
you show Joe? Did you show?
Oh no.
So one of the podcast names is going to be singlets are just performance enhancing overalls.
Yeah.
And so Joe's going to be competing in the movement meet.
But I'm only wearing overalls.
So then, we were joking around about, what did you say? You're only going to wear, I'll let you tell it. It was like, you're only going to wear, or he's only going to compete if he can wear
overalls, because they're basically singlets. That's my stance on this whole thing. Overalls or singlets.
Yeah, so then he found like a Titan singlet that has like all denim.
You really? You did
Oh,
find
yeah.
one?
Oh yeah.
Figured you would, yeah.
So regardless if I'm competing or not, I'm getting it.
No,
Well,
you are competing.
Yeah, regardless if I'm competing or not.
74
I'm getting it.
kg. You got this.
I'm still aiming for 63 women's.
63
Yeah,
women's weight
just-
class.
Got to cut down. What is that? 100 and some.
Easy.
Oh yeah, you're like it's
Easy
about
cut.
138.
Oh yeah. Oh, easy. 100 pounds. 100 pounds.
10
cut.
weeks, just under.
That's a
You're
quick.
good.
That's a quick water cut, right?
Quick,
Yeah. Easy.
That's a good water cut.
Just a quick water cut. Yeah, let us know if you want to be on the podcast.
I think more importantly, it's topics now too. Questions, any specific questions, we'll answer those for you.
We'll try to.
No, we'll answer them.
We'll try to.
It may not be 100% accurate, but we'll answer them.
We'll answer them and it'll be 100% right.
And cut.
I just want the first part.
Oh no, I'm sure we could splice that up a little bit and just have a stupid.
Tune in for the first.
Yeah. Are we done? Should I stop it? Is this? Are we good?
Yeah, stop it.
This is the humor part.
How do we stop this?
As soon as someone goes up, you just got to like 3, 2, 1.
Oh no, the mic was muted this whole time.
Dude.
I don't think we all need to do it, but
We're good to go now.
That's it.
That's our intro clip.
Just idiots. All right, that's our podcast, guys. All right, that's our podcast, guys. Thank you for tuning in.